What is up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to continue our lake breakdown series for Pickwick Lake. This time we're actually focused on the Tennessee side. As you remember last time when we went through the Google Earth part, we actually focused on just the Tennessee waypoints for Pickwick Lake. Tonight we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go off and we're going to talk about all the offshore goodness that this lake has to offer. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see what we found. Here we are using the Navionics mobile app, their boating app, to be able to really look at the contour lines that we can find out here on Pickwick Lake. And I apologize, it's been so long for me to get back with you guys on this video. I had some issues with my mobile phone, but I'm back now. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the Tennessee portion of Pickwick Lake for the offshore side. So let's just start down here on the border, right in the corner, basically right here. Where Mississippi and Tennessee start. We'll start here, and then actually let's start right here. We're going to start right here. We're going to work our way all the way up until we get up to the dam up there, and then we'll work our way all the way back. And so I'm just going to kind of point out to you guys why we think these are good offshore areas. Obviously you guys will see it. We'll do some explanations there, and hopefully this will help you guys when you go out on the lake. And then also, don't forget, go out, check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We have all these waypoints out there for you, where you can put them on your graph, or you can bring them into your mobile app, whatever you want to do. But we've got them out there, simplisticfishing.com. Go check it out. All right, so this is the Tennessee border. Let's just go up. First thing that we come into really is right here. We're in the back of this hollow that's back here, but as we get back in here, you'll notice there's an old pond that's right here. It looks like an old pond. This area that you see here, the highlighted area, that is actually seabed area, or what they call seabeds, as far as Navionics. So basically grassy areas. A lot of times it'll mark the creek channels as well. So you can tell here there was a pond at one time, and there's just a really good sharp drop off this bank line going into this pond. There's also a little bit of a ledge out here too. You notice it goes from 9 foot to about 15, 16 foot right there. So that could be a nice little area that's off the beaten path that you could go check out. Then as we move up here, we get more towards this main little intersection here by this island. There's some really good stuff out here. I'm going to zoom it into about right there so I can show you guys this. But first one is going to be up here. Notice this creek bend that comes up here, and it zooms around. Well, right there on the edge of that creek bend, or right on the creek bend, but also on the edge of the island that comes out here, or this point that you see here, that just looks like a really good spot to go look at. And then as you follow it down in here, you've got another point that comes out right here that touches that creek bed. So that looks good. And then another one right here where this point comes out. This is a nice little pinch point. So a little bit, narrower area. And you've got these points that stick out. So this point right here looks really good. This one over here looks good as well. Not just out here, but over in here, closer towards where that creek bed is. So there's some really juicy stuff going on right here. In fact, you could even come down here. Let's see if I can zoom up and follow this creek bed down, and you could probably find some pretty good ledges like right in here as well. You may be able to find some brush piles and stuff like that that are in there. You just never know what you're going to be able to find, but that looks pretty good right there. Really, I think the creek bed probably comes more like this, but maybe it comes like this. I have no idea. But anyways, right here, we'll definitely, you definitely want to take a look in that spot. Also over here, notice this little point that comes out. It's a little bit deeper, 23 feet, but this is a deeper lake. So right here off the edge of this point where it gets close to this creek bed and it's really close to the river channel out here, that looks really good as well. All right, so let's zoom up and let's go on up. Now let's get out here. This is going to be really hard to follow unless you have all these waypoints, because it's hard for me to show you where I'm at. But this is all juicy looking offshore stuff. So I'm going to zoom in and we're just going to talk about all the different stuff that we see here in this little shallow area. So first off, you've got a nice ledge that's going on right out here where my little hand is. Also down here, you've got a little bend that comes out and makes a little point right here. Let me zoom this back a little bit so you can see it better. So you've got this nice little point that comes out of this huge flat or whatever this is that's over here. But you've got this nice little drop that comes right here, and then this nice little just deep cut in this right here. There's also some type of an obstruction of some sort there. I don't know if that's a man-made obstruction, if that's a rock pile or what it is, but you definitely want to go look in there. And then also right here, also the edge of this point, if you look at the edge of this point, it looks really interesting too, because it's pretty shallow here. This isn't very deep, you know, this 6, 7 feet, 6, 7 feet. Same thing over here, but then all of a sudden you got this nice ledge. Well, if you get off this point, you can find that ledge as well. So you're 6 feet to about 17 feet right off the edge of that point. A couple other things you may want to look at is right here, 8 to 9 feet right here, a nice little hump that's up here. You've got over here another hump, 12 to 15 feet, another one of those obstructions, another hump that's up here in the right-hand corner. 18 feet, I love this one because it's really close, you know, to the creek bed. You've got little points that are in here too that we've marked for you, little individual spots. These are the humps as well. This hump out here looks really juicy. You get out here, the top of this one's in 20, but it breaks off to 35. Also has a little saddle here at about 29. But look at this nice creek channel that comes through here and swings right up against this point or this hump that you see here. So that looks really good. This one too, that creek channel is really close, even over here. So really what you're going to want to do, I mean, when you get out into this area, look at all these waypoints. I mean, we've talked about every one of them. You can see why we like each one of them, right? And a lot of them will relate to that creek channel that's coming through here, but some of them don't. Some of them are just humps and stuff, but that is a huge area to scan. And there's no telling. There could be fish in every one of those spots. There could be fish in half those spots. It could only be fish in 2 or 3 of those spots. So really, you're going to need to spend some time getting out here and really just scanning back and forth and seeing what you can find. You know, is it really good to, you know, in those areas? Is it not? What can you find? Where basically find the bait fish. If you find the bait fish, you're going to be able to find the fish. All right, so let's move on and let's go a little bit further up. And again, we're in this area where it's just offshore heaven for sure. But if we look right in here, let's zoom into this area and let's talk about some of these things. So one over here looks like you got an underwater bridge or something like that, plus some kind of an obstruction. Now, I don't know if that's that bridge that's the obstruction or if it's something else that's out there, but that's definitely something to take a look at. Also, this point that comes out here, this rounded point that's really close to this creek bed, that one looks good too. And then look over here on the left, you'll notice this is a lot shallower here, 15 feet, 13 feet, but then it breaks off really, really good on both of these areas, this point right here and this point right here. Inside of here, like right on the inside area of that, where you see that bigger break, that could be a really good spot. Also over here, whatever this obstruction is, fishing right around in here as well. So let's zoom back, and now we got even more that's out here. This is just such a cool lake. I mean, I'd love to go out and to fish it for sure. But look right here, you got a nice little hump with some really good ledges that are out here. I'll zoom in here and show it to you. Right here, nice hump, really good hump out here as well. Really good breaks. There's somebody's put something out there as well. Let's see what that says. It says that there's a drop there. There's definitely a drop there. There's also a drop right here. This is your main river channel. So you're gonna get really good ledges off the side of these. And that is gonna be juicy spots. Probably community area, I would imagine, being that it's on the swing there or the river bend where it's kind of making a bend there or a curve. So that's just gonna make it even better. That whole area there just looks really juicy. It's somewhere where I would probably go first and start scanning around and see what I could find. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at what else we have over here. I'm trying to use my mouse and it's not working. We also have this hump that's over here. So you've got 18 foot down to 32 foot. So huge break, huge opportunities to find some fish. You know they're gonna be attracted to this stuff. They're probably gonna be more over here, but you may be able, you know, all the community stuff may be over here, and you may be able to just slide over here and get into the same type of fish over here without having to fight the crowd. So maybe just something to take a look at. Also, let's go up here. We're getting into the Burton Branch state recreational area. We're getting close to there if you're wondering where I'm at. But as we move up here, we just got a couple more things, couple bridges. And these bridges look really good just based on their depth. You've also got this little hump that's out here at 15 foot, and it breaks off right into this creek channel. So that would be a good place to go scan around as well. Man, we can't put every single point out here, but there's so much here that I would love to mark for you. Like right here, we have another good little area right here. Look at this little hump. It's very isolated, and it's got a huge ledge that's right off the side of it. And there's two obstructions that are on both sides. So right in here, you may want to take a look at. And also over here, the end of this long extended little hump or point or whatever it is, it creates a ledge as well right there on the river channel too. So let's go ahead and let's look over here towards the other side of this hump. So up here, 18 feet, that's the highest point of the hump. But then down here too, we don't have it marked, but you could fish right out here off the edge of this as well. This one doesn't look as good, but definitely another good opportunity. And then as we come over here, we look at this point. We get out off the point and we start looking at where these ledges are. And here's another really good ledge. You can even swing down here and get right around in here and see if you could see anything down in that area too. So let's keep moving up, see what else we can find. Now we're up here by White's Lake Light, wherever that is. So when we get up there, we've got two spots that are right there by that lake light. One is going to be out here. This one's not as obvious, but it comes up way high. Look at this, 28 feet to 32 feet. So you've got, you know, a 30-something foot drop going on right there in that area. So that's pretty impressive, 34 feet between the top of that hump and the river channel right there. You've also got this underwater point that comes out and swings out over here. And if you look at this creek bed that comes down here, it makes a swing as well right here. So the inside of this point right in here could be juicy for sure. So you'll want to take a look at that. All right, also while you're over here, just some other things to look at. Since you're watching the video and you're taking the time to go through this, I'll show you a couple more spots that look pretty interesting. This right here where the creek bed comes in and swings up against the bank line, all right in here, this could be good as well. So I would definitely take some time and fish around that. Anytime you can find those creek beds where they swing up against the bank, especially a point, that is going to be a very good spot to go look at. All right, so let's keep moving up here. And again, you know, we can't mark every single offshore spot on this lake or we'd have you a billion points. But if you're doing the point thing, you know, go out here and check out these points. There's nothing special about them that we can really mark for you, but they're right by the river channel and they're going to produce fish at certain times of the year for sure. And then also you've got probably a lot of bluff walls going on right in this area too. All right, so we didn't see too much going up in those little pockets to mark for you guys, but we did find some pretty good stuff that was over here. So let me zoom into this and show you this. These are 2 points similar to what we were talking about, but look at this one. This one has a creek bed that comes out. Actually, this is a good point too. But this one bends right here and swings right up against the bank line right here. So that one looks good, and this one looks good as well. Notice how it's right off the edge of that bluff wall. So you guys have probably heard me talk a lot about fishing the bluff walls, and one of the spots that I love to fish in the bluff walls is right where it starts or right where it ends, and that's going to be right here in this area. Plus you've got a creek bed that's really close by to that area too, so that makes it look good as well. Now we're up here to the dam. So we've made it up to the dam. Now we're in this huge area up here by the dam. Talk to you guys about the offshore stuff that we've marked up here. Let's zoom in here and let's take a look at it. We're going to try to get all of this done in one video if we can. Not sure how long it's going to take, but hopefully we can get it done. But if you look in here at the dam, obviously the contours are kind of jacked up here, but you can't fish in here anyways. But if you get outside of the buoys, so you're out here, you're legit. Right here, you've got a little bit of a cut-in that happens right here before it starts to become shallow at 20 feet. So look right here, right there in that little cut-in. That could be good. You've also got a pretty good ledge going on all right in here too that you could scan around. Now let's go out here. Let's go down here and talk about these first, and then we'll talk about that big area that's above us. So as we get in here, this is probably, to me, because I'm more of a shallow water guy, this is probably one of the juiciest spots that I've seen. But you got a submerged bridge here. It's only about 25 foot of water, but right here, you've got some type of a rock pile or something like that that's going on right in here. And this is right by the Pickwick Landing State Park, but you've got a really good rock pile going on right there. I guarantee that's going to produce fish at certain times of the year. So you'll want to go back there and check that out. You've also got some points that are up here to look at. This point over here to the left looks really good. Plus it's been marked. Someone said there's a brush pile there. You've also got a little point that's right here that looks good. But as you're fishing here around this point, I would also swing down here and see if you can find anything on this bend. This creek channel bend right here could be good as well. All right, let's zoom out and let's talk about what we have up here in the middle of the lake. So this is, you know, when you go out there fishing, for those of you that are new to fishing, you see the guy that's out there in the middle of the freaking lake fishing. You're like, what in the world is that guy fishing? This is the kind of stuff that they're looking at. And this is a great way to catch fish for sure. So get out here. We've got these big flats that are out here. And off the edge of the flats is where you find your drops. So right in there, right in here, this area right in here where this creek bed comes in, it's probably got a lot of juicy stuff right here off the edge of this hump. There's a hump out here at 18 feet, drops down to 38 feet, 20-foot drop right there. Also right in here, you're gonna wanna take a look at. So basically you're gonna wanna scan that entire hump, but stay right around in here, you know, just kind of scanning right around in this area right in here. You've got so much stuff in here. I could put 1,000 markers in here. But I'm just kind of marking some of the higher percentage areas for you, and then hopefully you'll scan around the areas and see if you can find other things. But right here you've got a good obstruction, a nice little break off. Plus it's you can't really tell, it's not as obvious, but you got a good hump here. It comes up about 6 feet, so that one looks good. This hump down here actually has some rock on it as well. You could take a look at that one, and then let's go back up here more towards the middle and let's take a look at what all is out here. Well, first off, vegetation, that's awesome. So that's, find the edge of those grass lines. Wherever those grass lines are, find the edges of them. Typically they're going to be closer towards these creek channels, and fish the edges of those grass lines and you will have some success. You've got a good point up here that's really close to a creek channel with an obstruction up there, so that's definitely something to take a look at. A submerged bridge down here, you've got good breaks going on down right in here. Even up in here, I mean, there's so much good stuff up here. Also right in here too. Really good straight, basically like a bluff wall that's going to be underneath the water right here. So a really good ledge going on right there in that area. And then let's go ahead and move on down, see what else we can find. Now we're getting more towards the main swing here, but right here where this creek bed comes down, this point right in here, this area right in here, there's actually a little hump right here too. This looks really good. Over here too, you've got another hump where that creek channel kind of comes in. That spot right in there, scanning around in that area, that could be a good little area to find some really productive fishing. So we talked about all this stuff out here on the left-hand side, so I'll stay over here more towards, talked about on the right-hand side, so I'll stay over here more towards the left. Just a couple more things to show you guys. One, this little point right here, I just like it because it's the end again of that bluff wall, right? So that bluff wall is coming down there. You've got a creek bed that's coming down here, creating a really big, steep bluff wall, and this is the very end of it. So looking in there, that's always good. And then, you know, you could come out here too. You've got major ledges going on right here in this area, all the way off here, off this river channel. And we talked about some ledges, but we didn't talk about those because we basically focus more on the ledges that were around that bend. But you could definitely go out there and see if you could find something off any of those ledges that are out there by that main river channel. Right in here could be good as well. You know, all up in here. And then even right here where you see this little, it's almost like this little hump that's out here, and then it breaks off into this creek bed. So right in here, it's deep, 27 to 38 feet, but that just is a good spot for them to hang out in. Also a nice little point over here with a creek bed that comes in. And then as we move down, we're gonna have a couple more things. We're in the Wind Springs branch now, so we're making our way down. I don't know if we're gonna get this done in time or not, but we're gonna try. Got a couple more points that are over here. Both these points look good, basically because they're right here by this creek bed, and it's a nice long tapering point. This one comes way out, almost comes to an island and comes out here. So this scanning in this area right in here, and then also over here on this side. As you move down, you also see the creek bed touching right there. That's going to be a good spot for sure. Anywhere, like I said, that creek bed touches, that's going to be a good area. So talking right in here. And that's also the start of a little bit of a bluff wall. Maybe, that may not be a bluff wall right there, but getting pretty close to it. So then moving down here, we're going to get down, show you guys again where I'm at. We are almost to the end of Tennessee, like we are on the edge. So we're going to start right here and show you guys what's in this area, and that's probably going to cover us for this video. But if you look right here, we've got the marker marked right here on the edge of this point, and that's because they can be here, and they can also be all the way out here. So you're going to want to scan this whole point right here. The whole thing looks good. Also out here, you've got this big long point that comes up here with the creek bed on both sides. I mean, this is good stuff right in here, guys. All of this right in here is good stuff. You're going to do a lot of scanning all the way through here. I basically just start and just just back and forth, and find out where your honey spots are, and then go fishing. That's probably the most productive way to do it. You've also got some really good points that are back in here too. So like this point up here looks really good. It's got an obstruction off the side of it. It's got a creek bed close to it. Down here, you've got this creek bed that swings this way, and this point, it basically wraps around the turn. So that's going to be really good as well. And I don't know what these black things are. It says dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. Those may be those brush piles that we're going to talk about when we get into Mississippi, but I don't know. No, those are still Tennessee. So I'm not sure what those are. We may have marked those on the Google Earth side. I can't remember. I'll take a look, but we'll see what those are and see if I can figure out what that actually means. And if you know what that means, let us know on the comments so we can help some fellow fishermen out. Also, while we're back here, before I end this video, notice how close this creek bed is to these docks. Now, we haven't talked a lot about docks, but you got a lot of primo docks in here. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. These three are all good right here, really four. You've got some more docks back here that are right on the creek beds. Let's see if this one down here is too. These two could have potential, but really these in here could be good too. So pay attention to those creek beds. Those creek beds can be really productive for you. So that wraps us up for the Tennessee side of Pickwick Lake. I appreciate all you guys watching this. Hopefully it's going to help you put you on some fish. As a reminder, go out, check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got all these waypoints out there for you. We'll send you the digital files, which basically is the KML file and the GPX file, so you can use it on your Navionics mobile app, as well as Google Earth, so you can pull up and do your mapping and your exploring and all the good stuff that you do before the tourneys. But then we'll also send you the SD card. The SD card will include all of the waypoints, so when you go out on the lake, you've already got everything marked. You just go out and hit your spots. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.